Manish Nigam, and today I am going to explain you the poem The Tale of Custard the Dragon from your book First Flight, Class 10, written by Auden Nash. This is actually a ballad, a long narrative poem, and in this poem, the poet has beautifully explained the pets and their owner Belinda, the relationship between them, amongst them, and how they treated the dragon. It is all revealed in this poem. So without any delay, because it's a long poem, so it needs a long explanation. So without any delay, I'll come directly to the stanza wise explanation. Please listen it carefully. Belinda lived in a little white house with a little black kitten and a little grey mouse and a little yellow dog and a little red wagon and a realio trulio little pet dragon. Little pet dragon. So please underline, this is oxymoron. What is oxymoron? When two opposite adjectives are combined to frame a new meaning or a new word, it is called oxymoron. Then there you will find a repetition, that little is repeated in line number 2. It's a repetition. And the rhyme scheme of the poem is a regular rhyme scheme, that is AABB. You see, house is rhyming with mouse and wagon is rhyming with dragon. Now, in the first stanza, it is mentioned that there is a girl named Belinda and she lived in a small house where she had 4 pets. One was cat, one was mouse, one was dog, and the other was dragon. So Belinda lived in a small house with her 4 pets, and the pets are cat, mouse, dog, and dragon. Clear, my dear children? Now come to the second stanza. Now the name of the little black kitten was Ink. In the second stanza, you will get name of all 4 pets. So what was the name of the black kitten? It was Ink. And the little grey mouse, she called him Blink. And the name of the mouse was Blink. Remember the name carefully. Cat is Ink and the mouse is Blink. And the little yellow dog was sharp as mustard. Mustard is the name of the dog. But the dragon was a coward and she called him Custard. All members, including Belinda, they thought Custard the dragon to be a coward because it remained silent, it never moved, it just wanted to be in a quiet place where it could not be disturbed by anyone. So after seeing the activities of the dragon, they all considered it to be a coward. Coward, you know, lack of courage, lack of power. So they considered it to be coward, and the name of the dragon was Custard. Let me remind you again, in this second stanza, the names are given. One is cat, that is Ink. One is mouse, that is Blink. One is dog, that is Mustard. And one is dragon, that is Custard. Third stanza. Custard the dragon had big sharp teeth and spikes on top of him and scales underneath, mouth like a fireplace chimney for a nose, and realio trulio daggers on his toes. This third stanza is describing the appearance of the dragon, how the dragon looked. So the first point that you have to remember, the dragon had sharp teeth. Yes, you know, you might have read, you might have heard about the dragons, and you know how ferocious, how dangerous they are. So the dragon had sharp teeth, point number 1. Second, it had pointed scales on its body. Spikes are the pointed scale found on the upper portion of the body, and scales underneath, and the lower portion, it was covered with the scales. What are scales? Thin bony plates found on the reptiles. Mouth like a fireplace chimney for a nose, and the mouth is considered to be a fireplace. What is a fireplace? From where the fire is produced. And here the poet has compared or assumed that the dragon's mouth is producing fire, and when it breathes, it breathes smoke. That's why it is written here, chimney for a nose. What is the use of chimney? Chimney releases smoke. So here the nose is used for chimney, which means when it breathes, it produces the smoke. And Realio Trulio daggers on his toes. And how are the toes of the dragon? They are sharp. They are sharp. They are as sharp as a knife. Dagger means knife. So here the description of the dragon is given in this third stanza. Again, let me recall you the main points. One, its teeth are very sharp. Second, it has a spike on its body, the pointed scales. Third, it has the thin bony scales under the lower portion. And then it has the daggers. It has the feet like daggers. And when it breathes out the fire, and when it smokes, it is like the chimney. Okay. Now come to the next stanza. Belinda was as brave as barrel full of bears, and Ink and Blink chased lions down the stairs. Mustard was as brave as tiger in rage, but Custard cried for a nice safe cage. In this stanza, all these four, including Belinda, they are praising themselves. They call themselves brave, warrior. And Belinda compares herself with the bears. Ink and Blink are there, who call themselves and so brave that they can just hunt the tiger down, hunt the lions down. And this dog, the Mustard, and Mustard is there comparing itself with an angry tiger. As far as this poor Custard is concerned, the dragon is concerned, it remained quiet and it wanted to be in a safe and silent place. So in this next stanza, we see that Belinda is comparing herself with the bears. She thinks herself to be the mightiest one. Then Ink and Blink are there, who think that they can chase the lions down. And then there is Mustard, who considers himself to be so brave that it can compare itself to be an angry tiger. Okay. Now come to the next stanza. Belinda tickled him. She tickled him unmerciful. Ink, Blink and Mustard, they rudely called him Percival. They all sat laughing in the little red wagon or at the Realio Trulio cowardly dragon. Now here these animals and Belinda, the owner, they all are taunting actually. They are ridiculing. They are insulting the dragon. Belinda is teasing it. Then the Ink and Blink are there, and Mustard, the dog also, they called him Percival. Percival is actually a warrior, a knight who was supposed to be a powerful knight, but he escaped, he ran away because he lacked courage. So here Percival is used for that actually taunting. So Ink, Blink and Mustard are taunting the dragon by calling him Percival. And they all laughed at the dragon. They all insulted him. But the dragon did not respond. The dragon remained silent. The dragon remained quiet. Belinda giggled till she shook the house, and Blink said weak, which is giggling for a mouse. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, when Custard cried for a nice safe cage. Now there you see giggled. Giggle means laugh. Weak, second line. Weak is actually the sound produced by a mouse, which is actually the laughter of a mouse. So whenever you find a sound there in the poem, it is onomatopoeia. So here you can underline that giggle and weak are expressing the onomatopoeia. So Belinda giggled till she shook the house. Shook the house means the echo. She laughed so loudly that her laughter could be heard everywhere in the house. Okay. And Blink said weak. And Blink, the mouse, it is also producing sound and actually it is taunting. Ink and Mustard rudely asked his age, and they are not at all satisfied with the dragon. So they are asking his age. How old was he? But the dragon, he did not respond. He remained quiet. Next stanza. Suddenly they heard a nasty sound, and Mustard growled, and they all looked around. Mute, cried Ink, and oh, cried Belinda, for there was a pirate climbing in the venda. Venda here means window, and pirate actually the sea robber. Now comes the change in the story. And what is the change? They heard the unpleasant sound. Unpleasant sound means there was some movement. And when they heard the movement, first of all, the dog, Mustard, it started barking. And the cat started mewing. And Belinda was there crying, shouting. Okay? Why this happened? Why all this happened? Because there was a pirate which was actually getting into the house through the window. So there is all hustle and bustle, there is all commotion created in the house because the house was encroached by a robber. Now the next. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right, and he held in his teeth a cutlass bright. His beard was black, one leg was wood. It was clear that the pirate meant no good. Now this stanza is the explanation or appearance of the pirate. How the pirate was looking. Pistol in his left hand, pistol in his right. Both the hands are occupied by gun. He had guns. And he held the cutlass. Cutlass is actually a sword, a small, short sword that he had between his mouth, between his teeth. His beard was black, one leg was wood. And he had a black beard and his leg was wood means he was disabled. But his disability doesn't mean that he was going to be kind because his intentions were not good. He had come to the house to rob. Okay, so now in this stanza, the explanation of the pirate's appearance as he had guns with both of his hands. Second, he had a cutlass, that is a sword, and he had that cutlass between his mouth, between his teeth, and his black beard was there. He had wooden leg, that means he was disabled, and his intentions were not good. Belinda paled and she cried, "Help, help!" But Mustard fled with a terrified yelp. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and little Mouse blinked strategically, Mousehold. Now, if you remember all their bravery, that Belinda was as brave as bears, Ink and Blink and chased the lions down, and the Mustard was as angry as an angry tiger. So all their bravery gone to vain, futile. Okay, what is happening here? Belinda paled. She was terrified. She was afraid of the robber, and she started shouting, "Help, help!" But Mustard fled with the terrified help, and Mustard, the dog, it ran away from there. Ink trickled down to the bottom of the household, and what happened to Ink? The cat, it ran away from there, and she also hid herself in the household, behind the household, behind any object. And what happened to the mouse? The Blink? Blink went to its hole. Mouse hole means hole, Hole. So all they ran away from there. Only Belinda was left alone. Got it? But up jumped Custard, snorting like an engine, clashed his tail like iron in a dungeon, with a clatter and a clank and a jangling squirm. He went at the pirate like a robin at a worm. So there comes the dragon. Now, as everyone has left, Belinda alone. So there appeared the dragon. the dragon comes onto the picture. And what happened? When it appeared, it produced the sound, the snorting, breathing through nose. So it was so fierce that it was like an engine had started. Clashed his tail like irons in a dungeon. Iron rods. When iron rods are rubbed against the wall, against any metal, it produces a sound. The clanking, the clattering, the jangling is calm. All these are the sounds. Remember, clatter, clank, and jangling is calm. All these are the sounds. So when the dragon clashed its tail on the floor, it produced a clanking sound, a clatter, a jingling scum. And it was like that an iron rod was rubbed against the dungeon. What is dungeon? Dungeon is an underground prison. Okay. So the appearance of dragon before the pirate was picturized here beautifully, and here it is mentioned that when it appeared, it produced the sound through its snorting like an engine, and it clashed its tail on the floor, and it produced that clanking sound, that clattering sound, that jingling squam. Okay, and it attacked the robber like a bird attacking a worm. Okay, worm is small insect. Now the next stanza. The pirate gaped at Belinda's dragon, gaped, staring with mouth open. Staring with mouth open. So the pirate was just gaping at the dragon. He was bewildered, he was shocked, and gulped some grog from his pocket flagon. He fired 2 bullets, but they didn't hit, and Custard gobbled him every bit. Gulped, that it had a small container, a silver container you can say, where the wine, grog here means wine is kept. So the pirate took out his bottle, wine bottle, had 1 or 2 sips, and then he strengthened himself and then fired 1 or 2 bullets. But unfortunately, they did not hit the dragon, and dragon killed the pirate and gobbled him. Gobbled means swallowed him. Yes, the pirate was finished by the dragon. Now to come to the next stanza. Belinda embraced him. Yes, all are happy now because the pirate was killed. They all were safe now. Belinda embraced him. Embrace means hug. Belinda loved him, hugged him. Mustard licked him. Mustard was the dog, was flattering. No one mourned for his pirate's victim, and no one was crying or no one was sad for the death of that pirate, that robber. Ink and Blink in glee did gyrate. Glee means happiness, gyrate means dance. So Ink and Blink, they were very happy, and they showed their joy by dancing around the dragon. Okay, around the dragon that ate the pirate. So now in this stanza, Belinda, who hugged the dragon because the dragon had killed the pirate. The dog Mustard was there, flattering the dragon, and Ink and Blink, they both were dancing. Okay. But presently up spoke little dog Mustard. I would have been twice as brave if I hadn't been flustered. Flustered means confused. Now again the same story started as it was earlier. They all again started off boasting, praising themselves. And here the dog Mustard said, I could have been better than you if I was not confused. And up spoke Ink and up spoke Blink. We would have been 3 times as brave. So now Mustard, the dog, Ink and Blink, the cat and this mouse, they started praising themselves, and they said that they could have been better than the dragon. Okay. We think, and Custard said, I quite agree that everybody is braver than me. So here the dragon showed its modesty. Yes. And he said, yeah, I accept that you all are braver than me. But please now leave me. I just want to go and relax. Okay. So that completes the poem. Why I say that completes the poem? Because if you check these two stanzas, they are the same what we have read here at the beginning. First two stanzas and the last two stanzas are the same. So I don't think that you need any explanation, because if you read them, you can understand them. My dear children, there are so many poetic devices used in this poem, but because of the length of the poem, I did not complete that. I did not cover all that. So I promise that I will make a separate video for poetic devices of class 10 poems. Okay. For now, thank you and God bless.